Hello guys, welcome to Vibe with Ivy YouTube channel. Today I have another interesting vlog. Someone had asked me to touch on most of the challenges that I face in farming, and that is what I wanted to give you a brief of what I'm experiencing among the challenges that I have faced so far. Maybe that person wanted to weigh and see if it is worth doing farming or if it's not worth doing farming. So one thing about farming is that it is physically demanding. You have to be there, you have to be a present farmer in your farm so that you can keep on checking on the progress of your farm. Also, you keep on noting on the corrective measures that you need to take or what you need to do. Each and every stage will definitely demand you to be there physically. Even if you will have people that will do that work for you, you have to be there to supervise so that you can give instructions of how you want things to be done as they do their work in the farm. The next thing is the weather is a constant gamble, most especially now that the climate has really changed. It is difficult to predict the amount of rainfall that you're going to receive. Therefore, as a farmer, you have to come up with a backup method that you will irrigate your crops with. So it is another challenge, since now even you can't predict which type of crops to grow during which type of a season. Nowadays, if you decide just to grow any type of a crop, please ensure, most especially when it comes to the rain, ensure that you have a backup plan where you will get your water from in case it doesn't rain as you expect as a farmer. The next thing, it is financially risk are high. Yeah, financial risk is very high. You might, for example, decide to take maybe a loan from somewhere to grow a certain crop. In mind, as a farmer, you're prepared knowing that if you sell that crop, you'll definitely get the good profits that you'll use to repay those loans. Now, for instance, you've grown that crop in your farm and it doesn't do well as you expected as a farmer. So you see that is a great financial risk that you're getting into. Yeah, if you're expecting to get maybe a profit from that farm and you'll use that profit to do something else, and things happen. For example, if your farm is affected by pests or diseases that you cannot control, that you just incur the loss entirely. The next thing that they don't tell you, it is a 24/7 commitment thing. So if you decide to be a farmer, you have to be a very keen farmer. You have to be a frequent farmer in your farm so that you can notice the tiniest things that are happening in your farm in case your plants or your crops are affected by the pests and the diseases. You're there to notice at an early stage so that you can take the corrective measures before it is too late. Yeah, before you cannot reverse the damage that has happened in your farm. Therefore, it is a 24/7 commitment. If you decide to join farming, be ready and be prepared to be committed and to be ready to work each and every day in that farm. Even if you don't work by yourself, you'll need someone that you will be observing as they do that work. They don't tell you about the mental health, and often that is often overlooked. You have to be mentally stable. If you're deciding to do farming, you definitely have to be mentally stable. One, to do research. You have to be in that capacity that you can do research to know what is affecting your crops in your farm. Number two, you have to be mentally stable so that you are able to watch the progress of your plants. Number three, if you're not mentally stable, farming will humble you, most especially if you now start realizing these challenges that I am talking about. The next thing is soil health is crucial. Most people overlook this, mostly the the new farmers or those that are venturing into this farming industry for the first time. They overlook the soil factor. Remember, the type of crops that you grow also depend on that soil factor. Therefore, you have to do a couple of things such as the soil pH needs to be tested. You also need to take the corrective actions in case you need maybe to boost the level of content in your farm, in your soil. Therefore, you know how to do it. So soil when you're looking at the soil health, it is an entire broad topic that people do not talk about. You need expertise to do those things. You need people that know how to test for soil pH. Yeah, among many other things that you need to do. You need to do a lot of research concerning your soil. What type of crops do well in this type of a soil? So that particularly it's another challenge, and it entails a lot of things. So one another thing that you need to know, for example, now people have shifted to modern farming. Another challenge, okay, it is a good thing that we are shifting to modern farming, but you need a lot of knowledge to know how those machines are working, how those machines need to be operated, to what extent, to what type of a farm can those machines work, which type of crops require what types of machines, who can handle. You need people with experience, people with knowledge of how they can how to handle those machines. Even if it is a positive shift, it is also taking a very negative perspective, or it is really affecting us as the farmers. One thing, another thing, that is another expense. You need to hire those people with that experience. And of course, for someone that has experience, and for someone that has took their time to study and know how those machines work, it will definitely not be a cheaper cost. It will also have some impact on your financial state. So, after another thing you need to know, farmers often rely on each other for support, advice, and assistance. Okay, I've told you what I've told you. You do not do your research, you just pick it and take directly to your farm. Or you see, my farm is doing well. I have grown some Irish potatoes that are doing well in my farm. You just rely on what you've seen on my end, and you decide to go and do it to your farm. It will definitely not work for you. That is because you have not even tested your soil pH. You don't know if the Irish potatoes will do well as they are doing well in my farm. You have also not looked at the things like climatic condition. Different areas, different regions experience different climatic conditions. Therefore, you have to be really prepared as a farmer. Do not copy and paste. No, do your own research, study your environment, study your soil, so that you can know what is expected of you as a farmer, or what can you take from here and paste here. But you need to do a lot of research. So another thing you need to know is that farming is more than a job. Yeah, it is more than a job. Farming is definitely a way of life. If you venture into farming, make sure it's something that you love. Otherwise, it will humble you, guys. It will humble you. But if it's something that you like, let me tell you, also do not give up. Farming is very much profitable. So for me, farming has fed me for quite some time since I completed my campus. And I can tell you for sure, it is a field that is very much profitable if you venture into it knowing what you're doing. There are many other type of challenges that you will face when you decide to do farming. For example, it might be my challenges are not your challenges. Therefore, be very keen. And each and every day it is a learning journey. I'm also not perfect. Each and every day I'm encountered by new challenges that I need to solve, and I never knew they existed. So it is a learning journey, but I always tell you, a journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. The moment you just start it, that's it. You will just keep on learning, and you will keep on growing to become a better farmer each and every day. Hope I've touched on the most of the challenges that you requested me to note that I am facing. Thank you so much, guys, for watching till the end of the vlog. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, like, share, hit that notification bell so that each and every time I'll be uploading, you will be notified. Till we meet in the next one. Bye bye.